Hi, Cancer. Welcome. My name is Tiffany. This is the Feminine Inquisition, and we're doing your reading for the month of July. So I'm going to go over some astrological events for you to know, in case you want to mark your calendar. On the 3rd, we have Mercury. No, let's start before that. On June 30th, Jupiter moves into Leo. And this is really important because Leo offers the wisdom of manifestation to the rest of the zodiac. So we can pull down from their energy to use their expansion of fire and go out into the external and try to, bring to life that which we'd like to see. On the 3rd of July, Mercury moves into Leo. No, Mercury moves into Leo. On the 6th, the Sun moves into Cancer. On the 11th, Venus moves into Virgo. On the 13th, Mars moves into Libra. The 23rd, the Sun enters Leo. The 28th, Mercury enters Virgo. Okay? Right. So this is going to be kind of a different reading. I'm using the karma cards for inspiration, and I'll show you them. And this is for Cancer, any placements that speak to you, any Cancerians that you want to check up on, and leave me a comment and thumbs up if it works for you. If not, check your other placements. So the karma cards are separated into planets, signs, and houses, and they have an upside down variation, which is separated by conscious and unconscious. And each of the information is separated furthermore by 3 sections, which is spiritual, mental, and physical. And I will read all of that to you, but I just wanted you to see that there is equal distribution of conscious and unconscious, okay? So no one can complain. Right, okay, let's get into it. For Cancer, please, what's the guidance? How will we read and perceive these messages? The energies at this time for Cancer. Thank you. The 10th house. Right on. So that is conscious. This is your destiny, where you're going, your career. And I'm going to use the Tower of the Longest Dream now. Get 6 cards, 2 more shuffles. For Cancer Spirit, what do they need to know for the month of July? The Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter, right there. The 3 of Pentacles, some Mars card. 6 of Pentacles that has come out in so many readings. The balance of the day today. 7 of Cups, the options, the delusions, the fantasy. 9 of Cups, the indulgence, your personal wish fulfillment. And the 3 of Swords. Wow, Cancer. There's a lot of emotions here. Pretty balanced in terms of what is like up and down, but I have no wands on the table. Okay. Page of Swords. So this is the only court card that I have here. King of Cups is after that. Right. So you're in a stage where you're learning something, observing something, and I'm not really sure what that is. It could be a partnership that you're trying to take a chance on. It could be a friendship that you're trying to move into a new direction, to reestablish balance with. This is the moon in Taurus, so it's something that you have to be adaptable with, that has caused you to have some adaptation, and also that because it's the moon, it's your wishes. It's something that you care a lot about. Then also, oh, this light is so bright, huh? Let's see if I can change this. Oh, I can just turn it off. How's that? Yeah, probably way better. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, that's better. So, sorry. Trying to shift balance into some directions that you are creating from scratch, that are also not yet present, but part of your wish fulfillment. This water pours into here. So things that would really make you happy are filling your fantasy about reestablishing a connection or creating balance in this friendship. And that's what you want to spin this wheel towards. And here's the sadness and here's the disappointment. Now, I have no idea what that is. We're going to go straight there because that's going to give me context for what we're talking about. Page of Swords, King of Cups, observing your emotions. Here's the moon. There it is. And Temperance, Five of Wands. So balance, balance. From an emotional position, emotional conflict. Two chakras. Can I see the Three of Swords for Cancer, please? In July, can I see the Three of Swords for Cancer, please? Wow. Amazing. There's the disappointment again, 2 times about something that you wish for, Aquarius energy. And there's victory. I don't really understand. Disappointment with victory with respect to the Queen of Cups. Here's the King of Cups. Seven of Swords, solo energy. Six of Cups, past nostalgic. Page of Cups, a childlike approach, apology. Nine of Pentacles, solo energy. Page of Swords, King of Cups, the Moon, Temperance, Five of Wands, Three of Wands, Ace of Wands, Justice. Three of Swords for the Three of Swords. Right. Show me the Wheel of Fortune. In July, you're trying to manifest something. It ends in healing the Three of Swords. Okay. Show me the Wheel of Fortune, please. The Fool and oh, the Fool and the Six of Pentacles. So this is freedom from taking a chance, moving into a different like course correction, initiation energy. But because it's with Judgment, this is freeing oneself from, maybe you quit a job. You couldn't see how it was working. It made you feel like shit, like you were not valued. They went back and forth about a contract, a promotion. I don't know. Show me the Three of Pentacles. Maybe there was a toxic work environment due to colleagues. Can I see the Three of Pentacles, please? Three of Pentacles, please. The Knight of Wands. Okay, making a change to what was unhappiness, disappointment, sadness, limit of your mind for what you thought was possible. Here's the Judgment again. Judgment on not being able to see the thing, say the thing, do the thing. And here's the expectation leading to disappointment, fantasy building up. It's kind of like when you're mad and you just had a dream, but yet it was so real. And here's mentally persevering. Yeah, okay, so this is about getting your mind right. This is getting your mind right when it relates to where you're going, your career. This is other people. And you're tired. You're tired of their bullshit, so you're making a change. Six of Pentacles. I don't know if that means that the universe is going to give you what you need to move into a different direction. I don't know if that's you getting into a different role. Luck finding you. Show me the Six of Pentacles. Page of Cups. King of Swords. Yeah, there's an elevation there. What else? Nine of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I don't know what kind of childish nonsense was happening in this situation, this company, this endeavor, but it's cut out. Seven of Cups is here. It shows up 2 times, and now I have the Six of Cups. Here's the Page of Swords again. So I don't know if you're watching old movies in your mind about how it used to be, or you're regretting some choices that you've taken in this career. Seven of Cups can be really pleasantly a bunch of opportunities. But if you're just watching them as the Page of Swords, then they're just going to play out like projections from the mind. And that doesn't help you in your destiny or your career, anything with your 10th house. Show me the Seven of Cups, please. Seven of Swords. So walking away from walking away. Six of Wands. That's success. Finally, you have some wands on the table. The World in reverse. Something, is not done. This is a walking away from walking away. So it's not finished. What's not finished? Going back and forth on the death of something. Oof. Knight of Cups, Ten of Swords, romancing the idea of how it ended to change it differently, not seeing it for what it was when it came. This is someone holding an option for you, and you can't see that it's DOA. And someone comes quite fast offering this. That's why success is here. Maybe it's like a last minute attempt to keep you in the company or working on the contract basis that you are on. I don't know. There's a willingness to end it, and then it's not over. Can I see the Nine of Cups, please? Whoa. Show me this Nine of Cups. Yeah, this is the unending death. All sideways cards. Could go either way. Stability of happiness, the Tower. So yeah, something has to end, something has to shift, something has to change, something has to fall apart. The indecision, the back and forth, as well as the exhaustion, the energetic exhaustion of not saying the whole thing, not seeing the whole thing. The sun will shine. Great. Three of Cups. Awesome. Knight of Swords. Awesome. Five of Swords. Done. This is so interesting, Cancer. I mean, I don't really know what's happening here for you, except that this is Jupiter and this is Jupiter. This is Jupiter, just a Jupiterian card, and this is Jupiter in Pisces. It's a 9 also, so this is an expansive energy for oneself. And even though it is usually in a great way, like showing and talking through, you're responsible for claiming your happiness and fulfilling those needs and living by example so that other people can see it. Because there's a lack of conviction here, first you wanted to walk away, then you don't. Then ego gets triggered so that you don't call it quits. And disappointment has been through this entire thing. That it almost says to me that there's a level of codependency in this connection, in this partnership, in this relationship, whether it's even you gaslighting yourself, filling your head with fantasy, and then overindulging and then hurting your own feelings and never really making a decision because you keep talking yourself out with fantasy of the decision, or if it's an actual person that gaslights you and you're overly indulgent in fantasy and therefore don't make practical decisions to end when you know that you need to. And it does have to do with your career. Now, it could be that I'm describing something that actually happens in the workplace, or just that the nature of this up and down makes you unstable in the career sector. So many pentacles on the table, but also so many cups. And it's no surprised because you are Cancer, but there's hardly any action, right? I did not get a lot of Wands. I do have the Six of Wands, which showed 2 times, and the Ten of Wands. I'm just going to ask what the nature of this is, if it's a connection, if it's work, just to give you the confirmation. And if this is your tendency to build yourself up and then let yourself down, you might do it in all areas of your life, right? King of Swords, this is decision making. Three of Cups, getting distracted maybe with alcohol, with friends. Four of Wands, this is wanting to be chosen. Page of Pentacles, you want a practical plan for a consistent effort in being chosen. But Five of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, I think that when it, and if it comes, it's really difficult for you to, Eight of Cups, for you even to recognize it, because something about you is stuck in the past. Your perspective about emotionality is stuck in the past, and you really just want to celebrate, but you want to be chosen, bottom line. And that could be a deep wound of wanting to be chosen, and also that this message right here, if you're not chosen, there you are walking away. There you are walking away. Okay. Do you do false threats? So underneath the 10th house, I have the North Node, which is have faith in, do not worry about, and now is the time to. And that was the subconscious. So does the subconscious drive your behavior, drive your action, drive your decision making? Because this is the King of Swords, King of Swords. You become very cold and detached when you make your decision. Then you regret it and go back. But maybe you need to integrate the whole self. Cancer, Chariot, integrate the whole self and make the decision from a whole place. Here's the Moon. So I've got the Page of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Three of Cups. There's the Page of Pentacles. So you're learning about your own sadness. And this Ace of Pentacles, whether or not you grab onto it, take hold of it, let it go, you desire it very much. You must have courage, Queen of Pentacles. And you must put yourself first. Now the Moon is blocking you. That's the fantasy here. You can't see the whole thing. But if you could, then you would be able to manifest and spin this wheel in the right direction, whatever direction was balanced from the first place that you saw this going into. However, codependency is stopping this from its full experience, from having the Ten of Cups, from having the transformation, from having the Tower, from having the Ten of Pentacles, right? There's cards that are on their side. And the reason why is because they lack your conviction. Right? I'll show you. Here's the cards on their side. Death, Temperance. These cards go in succession through the major arcana. Death leads into the Temperance. When you allow things to move through you and all that is ending really go, there is salvation there. It doesn't just end. Where does energy? It transforms. And that's the process that you are not able to embody completely. I don't know, to stick through, to stick with. The King of Swords, you make a decision and then get clattered and then recoil. Here's the Ten of Cups and the King of Pentacles, both on their side. You cannot feel stable. You cannot feel happy. Page of Pentacles, start small. Lovers, remember the alignment. It takes two. It's not about codependency. It's about alignment within you. Grab all of your pieces, your parts. Heart first. And there's the Three of Cups, which I think you want. I think you choose. But it comes at a great cost and great confusion. Sun is also here. Remember that. Okay? Let it shine where it needs to regarding these Three of Cups. I don't know what that is. I think maybe we should get into that. Wow. Let's get into that. What is this Three of Cups? That's the Tower and the Nine of Pentacles. And before that, Six of Wands. Yeah, there's the ego again. There's the public success. Maybe you don't want to let things fall apart because you're afraid of what people will say. And maybe you're worried that you can't be on your own, manage your own resources, manage your own wealth, make it, right? Find your own financial stability. That's probably part of the codependency because this is the 10th house, your destiny. Where are you going? Your career. So here's the Three of Pentacles to the Six of Pentacles with the Seven of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Three of Swords. This is making choices when you could be spinning the wheel of life in your direction. You're making choices for stability based on fantasy and overly indulgent in that fantasy as it relates to your will in life. Saturn in Libra. This is the constraints of relationships. Like there's a star in you, there's a genius in you. You can take actions. If we had more wands, you could build whatever you wanted to. But I feel as though there's this codependent behavior. Check where your check where your south node is. I said it right. Because this is the card for the north node, but it's the subconscious. So check where your south node is. And see what those tendencies are. And let me know in the comments if that fits for you. Okay? You got to get some fire in your life, Cancer. Take some action. Doesn't matter what it looks like. This card is saying create mischief. Okay? Right. I leave it there. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Until the next time I read for you. Ciao.